You walk into a room full of people. You're smiling. You're talking. But inside, you feel completely alone. You have hundreds of contacts in your phone, but there's not a single person you can truly call. You see things others miss. You think thoughts you can't share. You feel emotions you can't explain. And you've been told you're too much. Too intense. Too deep. Too smart. But here's the dark truth no one tells you. You're not broken. You're not antisocial. You're not too much. You're just awake. And being awake, alone, is the rarest form of intelligence. This is the dark psychology of people who are smart but lonely. Let's start with the science. Studies show that people with higher IQs report significantly higher levels of loneliness than the general population. But why? Because the smarter you are, the more you see what others can't. You see when people lie. You see when conversations are surface level. You see when relationships are transactional. You see everything. And that vision becomes a curse. Think about it. When you're at a gathering, everyone around you is laughing at jokes that feel empty to you. They're discussing things you stopped caring about years ago. You're standing in the middle of a crowd, and you've never felt more alone. This isn't a flaw. This is awareness. Here's where it gets darker. Most smart people don't realize they're lonely because of their intelligence. They blame themselves. Maybe I'm not trying hard enough. Maybe I'm just bad at making friends. Maybe something is wrong with me. Nothing is wrong with you. You're just running a different operating system in a world built for the masses. There are 5 signs you're smart but lonely. Pay attention. Sign 1. Small talk physically drains you. You'd rather sit in silence with someone than discuss the weather, traffic, or weekend plans. Surface conversations feel like a slow death. You crave depth, meaning, truth. But most people don't have that to give. Sign 2. You can read people instantly. You know when someone is faking a smile. You hear the hesitation before a lie. You feel the shift in energy before they speak. This is called hypervigilance, and it isolates you because most people don't operate at this level. You see their mask. They don't know you can. Sign 3. You overanalyze every interaction. You replay conversations in your head. You wonder what you said wrong. You decode their tone, their pauses, their words. This isn't insecurity. This is your mind processing information that most brains don't even notice. The price of awareness is exhaustion. Sign 4. You'd rather be alone than around the wrong people. You used to force yourself to socialize. Now you protect your peace. Solitude doesn't feel lonely anymore. What feels lonely is being misunderstood by a room full of people. You chose silence, and silence chose you back. Sign 5. You feel guilty for being smart. When friends share problems, you see solutions instantly. But you've learned not to say them, because people want validation, not answers. You dim your light. You hide your perception. You play smaller than you are. And it kills you slowly. Now here's the part nobody talks about. The science of smart loneliness is brutal. Research from the British Journal of Psychology found that high IQ individuals are less satisfied when they socialize more often. Read that again. The smarter you are, the more socializing makes you tired. While average people gain energy from groups, you lose it. You're not antisocial. You're hypersocial internally. You process every micro-expression, every word choice, every shift in tone, all at once. By the end of a 30-minute conversation, you're exhausted, while they're already planning the next gathering. This is why solitude is your medicine. Here's the dark psychology at play. Society teaches you that being alone is wrong, that loneliness equals failure, that you should have many friends. But that's a lie sold to keep people obedient and consuming. Smart people throughout history were lonely. Einstein said, "I lived in solitude in the country and noticed how the monotony of a quiet life stimulates the creative mind." Tesla never married, never had close friends. He died in a hotel room with pigeons as his companions. Newton spent his life in isolation. These weren't broken men. These were awake men. So what do you do about it? First, stop trying to fix yourself. You don't need more friends. You don't need to put yourself out there. You don't need to be more outgoing. You need depth, not breadth. One person who truly understands you is worth more than 100 surface relationships. Second, accept the curse. Yes, being smart and aware is isolating. Yes, most people will never understand you. Yes, you'll feel alone in crowds. This is the price, and it's worth paying. Third, use it as a weapon. Loneliness gave you depth. Depth gives you creativity. Creativity gives you power. Every genius in history was lonely. Every artist who shaped culture was misunderstood. Every leader who changed the world walked alone first. Your loneliness isn't a curse. It's your training ground. Final truth. You're not lonely because you're broken. You're lonely because you see the truth. And once you see the truth, you can never go back to surface conversations. You can never enjoy small talk again. You can never pretend to be excited about empty drama. You can never lower yourself to fit in. So stop trying. Embrace the silence. Befriend the solitude. Build your inner world. Because one day, the right person will see you. And when they do, they'll see all of you. The depth, the awareness, the fire. And in that moment you'll realize, being smart and lonely was never the curse. It was the price of admission to a deeper life. You're not alone. You're just ahead. And it's lonely at the front. If this hit you, subscribe. Because we decode the dark psychology no one talks about. More truths coming.